Hi everybody, good afternoon. It's about 5 o'clock here in Mexico City. I'm at the Benjamin Franklin Library, one of our amazing binational centers here in Mexico. I'm excited to be with you all this afternoon and with my friends here at the Binational Center who showed up in person to learn about online education, blended learning, some of the resources that we're going to talk about today. I particularly do a lot of work in, and so does my office. Para los que no entienden inglés o prefieren español, le mandan un chat ahí, o si tienen alguna pregunta o quieren traducir algo, puedo hacer todo lo posible para facilitar que entiendan. Pero idealmente lo podríamos hacer en inglés. Todas las plataformas están en inglés, desafortunadamente, pero me parece que se pueden cambiar. Pero bueno, back to English. My name is Manuel Pereira. I'm a program designer in the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs in an initiative called the Collaboratory. We particularly do a lot of work with MOOCs, Massive Open Online Courses, MOOC, which pretty much means some of these platforms that you'll see. I can click through some of them now. Coursera. Are you guys familiar with Coursera? Amigos? No? ¿Nunca han visto? Ah, mejor. Una sorpresa, entonces. Big surprise. My friends on the virtual land of Facebook Live, please send a thumbs up if you've heard of Coursera, or if you haven't heard of Coursera, send my friend Jandi a message, and so we know kind of the people that we're working with and who's participating in this awesome live Facebook event. I'm excited to talk about some of these things. First, is everybody understanding me okay? Am I talking too fast? Okay. I think ideally, it would be good to talk a little bit about the transition from the traditional classroom setting to where a teacher is in front of you, like I am now, going through instructions and curriculum. Since then, it's been kind of a teacher to student relationship, teacher to classroom relationship. Now we've included educational technologies, or as we call them, ed tech, to classrooms, like this projector, for example. 50 years ago, I don't think we had a projector like this that would be able to share the same screen that I have here on my laptop. I think, obviously, modernization, globalization, has provided access to some of these technologies that we've been able to incorporate in the classroom, and that have really, I think, shaped the way that we as young people, right, that we're learning today, right? How many, and I'm asking my friends here in the audience, but please respond on Facebook. Our wonderful colleague here is going to be actively chatting in the chat space and answering any of your questions and addressing some of the comments. Throughout this session, I'll be asking a bunch of questions. It's not just going to be me speaking for an hour. It's going to be us talking together and having a conversation. It's going to be really great. Same thing goes for the folks out in the chat box. Please participate as much as possible. And I think that any questions that you may have on some of these platforms, we can try to address today. But like I was mentioning, the introduction and incorporation of technology in education, particularly in the United States, has grown considerably. I think even when I was in high school 10 years ago, we have projectors, we have smart boards, we have HD TVs as part of our classrooms, or platforms like Coursera, where maybe you show up in person to the classroom, but then you have homework that you do online, right? Have you done homework online before? Right? So the world is changing. Do you remember when you were 10 years old? Did you do homework online? No, right? So it's been a shift in online education from a traditional setting to fully online, and sometimes what we call blended education. So it's a combination of using educational technology, right, like some of these platforms, in an online setting where you can learn and take courses online that are combined with in-person elements. So you still have a teacher, but only maybe once a week, right? Tiempo parcial, right? A partial time, semi-presencial, como a veces se dice. So with this new way of teaching, one, I think it's raised a lot of different concerns with traditional teachers, right? Especially in the countries where we come from, in Sudamerica and Central America, where in South America and Central America, where the traditional classroom setting is very sacred, right? It's very important. Our teachers are not necessarily the youngest, right? They've been teaching for a very long time. I particularly had a teacher in Uruguay that taught my mom when she was in school. So that has changed too, right? There are new early professionals, new teachers that are teaching English, history, math, all of our subjects that we learn in school. They're teaching them on these online platforms, and incorporating and developing courses aligned with the educational systems of these countries, of Mexico, of the United States, of Uruguay, and the municipalities, the cities, have their own educational standards, right? And these have changed dramatically with the incorporation of these online resources for learning. So that's a little bit of the background. I would love to hear from my audience, both on Facebook Live and here, what has been, if you can remember, or right now, what's an experience that you have where a part of your education is online? What is it that you're doing online while you're studying now? Everybody's a student, right? So what aspects of your learning, of your education here in Mexico is online?
Maybe
Homework, okay. Okay. So what my friend just shared for our audiences on Facebook Live in UNAM, Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, they're incorporating homework and exams online, which is crazy to think about, right? You would think that exams, testing, right, which usually is the indicator of whether you pass to the next grade or you're aligned and you're on track in your educational learning throughout the process, that they would be online, right? Can anybody think about, before we start talking about these platforms, right, think about for a second, what are the benefits, right, of learning online? What do you think the benefits are? And please, my friends on Facebook Live, what do you think the benefits are of learning online? Do we have some answers from our friends? Language learning, definitely. Galileo, language learning, absolutely. Not just English, Chinese, Italian, right? There are institutions and organizations that specialize in this type of learning that publish the courses for free, where you're able to access the material at home, on your phone, on your tablet. It's incredible. Do we have any other answers from our friends? No, just language learning, that's the only benefit of online education? Anybody have any other ideas?
the management of the time from story time management.
Sergio, definitely, right? Curriculum and learning management, you are in control of your own learning curve, right? In the United States, we call it a learning curve, right? Where you learn and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn, and then at some point you kind of even out, right? Am I okay? Yes. Definitely, right? The time management, right? You don't have to go to school in traditional hours, right? In the United States, for high school students, yes? High school is 7:30 a.m. to about 2:45, 3 o'clock p.m., right? That is the traditional high school setting. There has been a shift, as I mentioned, to online, and like Sergio says, you are in control of your own time. Whether you want to do it from 7:30 to 3 p.m. or you want to do it at 12 o'clock midnight, you are in control of your own learning, and all of the tracking, your quizzes, your homework, your exams, are a lot of the times on a unified platform. So you don't have to worry about the teacher not reading your test right or the teacher not getting your homework. But at the same time, and I'm not going to criticize my teachers, I'm a teacher myself, and I've done this, and I've done the traditional, and I have my mixed opinions. But for you, the student, right, think about this. There is no excuse for you in online learning, right? If you miss the test or you miss the homework, you miss when the module, which I'll show you later, when the module closes, that's it. There's no teacher, but man, my cat had an accident, I had to take him to the vet, and I couldn't do my homework. You know, there's no excuses. Here, it's tracked online on a platform. So it's very difficult for you to miss class. If you don't do the work, you won't learn. It's self-driven. That is the biggest difference, right? In a traditional classroom setting, the teacher is facilitating, the teacher brings you materials, the teacher answers your questions live, like we're doing now. In an online setting, you have access to the material. The teacher many times is there semi-presencial, so is there once a week. If you have 10 questions, you might only get to answer one. So, you know, there are definitely benefits and disadvantages of online learning. Do we have any other from my friends here in the crowd? Benefits of online learning.
That you are your own motivation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So kind of very similar to what Sergio said. You know, not only is it self-paced, you do it at your time, when you're comfortable, when you have the availability, but you are your own motivation, right? There is nobody there saying, hey, do your homework. Hey, pay attention, right? If you're not there bought into the material, then you won't learn. And that's caused a lot of discussions between leading academics all around the world, right? Not just in the US of, should we be promoting traditional classroom settings, right? Or online learning, right? And to what extreme to either or, right? And the friendly balance, right, which we'll talk about in a little bit, this idea of blended learning, which is nothing new, but it's thinking about innovative ways, new and creative ways to use technology, use in-person facilitation, but on new and creative, technologically savvy platforms. That's where I think there's a magic balance that's happening. The other side of the question, obviously, for my friends on Facebook and here, what do you think are some of the disadvantages of online learning? What's the bad part about online learning, do you think?
That you may not do your homework because of time, that you don't have the time that the computer takes.
Definitely. And we'll talk a little bit about that. What's your name? Pamela. So my friend Pamela here, which is joining us at the Benjamin Franklin Library, just brought up a really good point, right? If you're not organized and you miss timing for some reason, you go on vacation, you know, remember, online learning doesn't stop. There's no Christmas break for online learning. You know, there really isn't. There's, you know, it's your birthday, you took a vacation with your parents to Cancun, online learning still happens, you know, so you have to be very careful and you have to be very organized, and if you miss it, you might not have the opportunity to make it up, right? So as we've been discussing, there are some benefits and some disadvantages, right? And I think that's part of everything, so it has to be, you have to be able to reflect on your own, what is my way of learning? Where do I feel most comfortable in a learning environment? Is it traditional? Is it online? Do I feel comfortable doing this on my own, self-driven, self-motivated, on my time? Or would I prefer somebody facilitating the discussion? Those are kind of the questions that have been posed by teachers, by students, by academics, by researchers who have studied the impacts of learning, right? How much are you actually learning, proven by studies, online or traditional? And there's been mixed results. People say online when the school system, the public school system in your particular community is very bad, right? Online learning can supplement, can be an additional resource for your existing educational system. What that means is you can go and participate in a traditional classroom setting, but take online courses as a supplement. It's a lot more work, right? Who likes more work? Yeah, right? I love it. So it's a supplement, but you know, you also have to be very careful. For me, I've taken a couple of courses on Coursera. You can see my smiling face on this icon. And I have a job, right? Luckily, I don't have a family yet. But I have taken courses, and I can show you here really quickly. Look at my completed courses. How many do you see? 0, right? Because I am not a good shepherd, I'm not a good steward of my own time, right? Does that mean that you can't take online courses just because you don't finish? No, right? My friends on Facebook, absolutely not. Online learning, in my point of view, is a fantastic supplement to the really good education you're getting in your country. You know, there is no replacement for in-person, right? In my work in public diplomacy, when we do exchange programs, right, bringing people from here to the US and from the US to our countries, there is no supplement. It's been proven. There is no substitute to this, right? There's no substitute to what we're doing here. We can kind of do it virtually where I can see you kind of and you can see me, I hope. I hope I don't look weird, but there's no supplement, right? So online learning is an addition, right? It's extracurricular. It's the ability for you to access this for free and potentially, if you want to, complete the course and receive a certificate of completion, right? That is the key. This is not science. This is not a new way of learning. This has been around for 5 to 10 years, maybe more, online courses. But now the difference is there are platforms that exist that enable you to take courses for free. And if you do not complete them, that's okay. You know, you can go and learn about what you want to learn about, what you're interested in that maybe isn't offered at your school on these platforms. They're available to you, and we'll test that in a little bit. The last part, before I go into a little bit of this demonstration, I want to talk a lot about blended learning, because blended learning, I think, is what's been proven as the new future of education, right? Like I mentioned, for educational exchanges, right, intercambios, there is no substitute virtual, no substitute. But there's a combination, right, a happy medium, a balance, where you can do it with low resources, right? So if you come from a background that you don't have a lot of economic resources to be able to access some of these materials, like I mentioned, they're available for free. But if you're also not in a place where you can participate in a study abroad, to go to another country to learn and to integrate yourself in another country's educational system, there are opportunities for you, which I'll talk about, to connect with student groups of classrooms here in the US that are interested in the same things you are, where you can take the course together. And you know what the difference is in this blended environment, right? You sign up by yourself on the course, on the platform, on Coursera or on edX. You sign up by yourself. But then you come together once a week to your local library, to your school, to the Binational Center, to the Benjamin Franklin Library here, and with your colleagues, you do the course together. I'll ask you this. Out of 0 to 100%, what do you think is the completion rate? So the percentage of people taking online courses that complete the course by themselves. You on your own, at your pace, on your time, on the subject that you're interested in. Out of 100%, say out of 1,000 learners, 1,000 students taking online courses by themselves, what percentage do you think complete the course? Take a wild guess. Facebook friends, a wild guess. Real easy question. Throw out a number. 10%. 30. 60. 20. 15. There's a delay. Facebook friends, I'm going to wait to answer the question. Let me know when we're back actualizado. 9. 10%. Okay. 20%. 70. That's an optimistic person. So, and this is your way. How you doing, man? Everything good? ¿Todo bien? Please join us. So, I just asked the question, mi amigo, of what percentage of people who sign up to these courses by themselves actually complete the course. We had 10%, 70%, 60%, 20%, 40%, a mixed bag. All of you are wrong. The closest one is 10%. It's actually 7% on this platform, on Coursera. So like me, most likely, there's a 93% chance that you will not complete any courses, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But that is what online learning is, right? We as people, right, generation by generation, we are used to learning like this. So it's very difficult to incorporate this very fast, right? This is not going to happen in 10 years. This is going to happen in 100 years. And maybe it won't be like this online, but maybe it'll be virtual, right, with the goggles. 3D or something like that. But let's keep it to 2018. 7% of people actually complete the courses, right? So I'll ask you the next question. If you were to take this course with your friends, Facebook friends, I'm looking at you. You guys, I'm looking at you guys, students. If all 4 of you here were to take a course together, you log in individually, you each have an account, you enroll in the course, but you come here to the Benjamin Franklin Library every Thursday after school at 4 p.m. to do some of the course material and talk about the subject, right? What do you think is the percentage of course completions out of 100? So remember, by yourself, 7%. With a group and a meetup, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, what do you guys think? 80%? 80%? 15%? 20%? Friends on Facebook, what do we got? We're lagging, but we'll figure it out. 12. 25. So according to our analytics, for people who have registered on these platforms through the State Department network, right, in the United States, there's an 83% completion rate for all of the participants, right? So this could potentially be a little bit skewed, but our analytics and what we believe to be true is that when you do this in a group, you sign up by yourself. At home, you take the course, you go through the modules, but the only difference is that you meet up with your friends at the library and talk about the class. It increases your chance of completing the course by 11 times. 1,100% more likely to complete the course. And that's what we found. So this is how it works. It obviously happens sometimes where maybe my 4 friends here who are in the auditorium here with me, that instead of all 4 of you signing into the course individually, right? Amigo, tu nombre? Enrique. Enrique goes and signs up by himself, creates an account, but he's the leader, right? He is the one that's coordinating all of the amigos to come to the Benjamin Franklin Library and take the course together. So he signs up by himself, and everybody takes the course together. So our analytics only tell us that Enrique completed the course, but not Pamela, Hannah. ¿Cómo es? Asair. Asael. Oh, mira qué lindo nombre. Yo me llamo Manuel. They're not represented in our analytics. So that's the problem with not just the State Department, that's the problem with universities all around the world trying to track if students are actually completing courses and if students are learning, right? There is evidence that yes, there are, but the evidence is unreliable, right? Because like I mentioned, it might not be that all 4 individuals and folks on Facebook are signing up to the course by themselves, but doing it together. So that's the data. If you are into the research, if you believe in research, it's good data, but it's not 100% true. Does that make sense? Great. So we've talked a lot. Traditional, online learning, blended learning. What can the State Department, the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, how can we support you in your learning journey, right? So I'll ask my friends here and my hopefully non-delayed friends on Facebook Live, Enrique, what's your favorite subject? What's your favorite subject in school? Math. Okay, never mind that. I'm kidding. We'll look at a math course, but I'll ask you a better question before. So the thing here asks you, what do you want to learn? ¿Qué quieres aprender? My friend Enrique, math. So there are a couple things. Hold on, I don't know why it went to machine learning. Okay, it's not letting me do it, but here you can see all of the different offerings that are offered by U.S. and international universities. right? I want to point one particular out to you. I'm not entirely sure what machine learning is. I don't know what that is. I think it's robots, artificial intelligence, inteligencia artificial. So if you're interested in that, it has math in it. But there's introduction to mathematics and computer science, introduction to mathematical thinking. Look at these universities. You know what I mean? Stanford, an Ivy League school in the United States, probably the leading institution around the world, right? One of the best colleges you can get to. Just for you to put it into perspective, I live in the US. To go to school here, and I'm not saying, you know, but just to give you an example of how much this has changed, and to go to school at that university, it's about $60,000 a year for you to just take classes. That's not including living, your apartment, your dorm, your food, your textbooks, your car that you need to drive around. You know, it's not including the time that you spend getting to class and coming back from class. So you have access here to a Stanford University course that you can go and just as simply as clicking a button, you can go here, the course is available. Let's see, hopefully it is. So the course starts on May 28th in about 2 weeks. So you got 2 weeks to prepare your mind that you're going to be learning about mathematical thinking, right? You click enroll. These are the options that you have. This is Coursera. Okay, this is not a NGO. You know, this is a for-profit American organization. Okay, they make money off of this. The schools don't make money, but the platform makes money, right? That's just to make that clear. So you have two options, right? You can take the course and receive the certificate for 524 pesos. I strongly recommend you to not do that. I recommend you, if you want to, you can. If you want the certificate of completion, go for it. I'm going to give you a different option. You can take the course. You can take the course, full course, no certificate, no money, for free. Take the course, learn about math. If you think that it's interesting and you feel comfortable learning here on this platform and what it looks like, then you can go to the next course and purchase and get the verified certificate of completion on your time. But don't jump into this just because you see Stanford University or you see University of London in the United Kingdom or the University of Rome in Italy. That doesn't mean that it is worth this. It does not mean that. So be very careful. This is, like I said, I'm not a Coursera representative. I just believe in the platform and I like it because it's user-friendly, it's easy to use, you can go on the modules, you can click around and learn and enroll in a billion courses. That's why I like it, because I'm all about learning. I'm not so much about making money, believe it or not. So that's one of the things that you can do. So I'm going to go in here and do a full course no certificate, right? And that's it. What does that say? At the bottom, blue button. What does it say? Start learning. That is the beauty of this. Immediately you can go, click on it, start learning. As soon as the course starts on May 28th, you can even do a week 1 and watch a video. It'll take about 8 minutes. That's what it tells you. But then you can see, right? This is what's going to be available to you on May 28th, and you have until June 4th to complete it, right? And this is about how long it's going to take you. So that's the greatest part about the platform, right? If you're working on your own time, on your own schedule, with nobody bothering you and putting pressure on you to complete your homework or do your tests or turn in the paper and write the essay, this at least tells you, okay, you got to put 3.5 hours in there for you to complete it. And this is not something that is defined where it's 3.5 hours. If you complete it fast, great. If you take 10 hours, great. As long as you complete it before June 4th. This particular example is an example of a course that is not, it's called an audit course. So you see where it said before, the course starts on May 28th. That means that on June 4th, week 1 will be available. Once June 4th passes, week 2 will become available. What that means is you only have access to parts of the course, so it times it for you. Week by week, different material, different homework, different activities, different videos. There are courses on Coursera that are fully available, right? So that's when you're really in control of your own time. You can go on there, enroll for the course just as we did on whatever subject you're interested in, and instead of only 1 week being available, all 12 weeks will be available. And that's awesome. You know, I strongly recommend those courses for introductory learners and introductory users of Coursera because you can access all of it. So maybe Enrique, he's amazing at math, right? He's amazing at math. So maybe this course right here, week 1, is too easy. It's too beginner level. And Enrique's bored. So if Enrique's bored, what is the probability that he's going to go through and complete the course and wait 5 weeks for him to be able to get to the material that's relevant to him, right? That's another one of the disadvantages of online learning. You know, on Coursera particularly, you have to wait. But a lot of courses, you don't. And there are a lot of other platforms like edX, which I'll show you in a second, where all the material is available at one time when you enroll for the course. Those are the two differences. Do I have any questions from you guys? Anything that doesn't make sense? No? Amigo in the back? Todo bien? My friends on Facebook? Hi! Friend, oh, I keep forgetting. Friends on Facebook. I keep looking at my friend. Any questions so far? No? Okay, great. I assume that you're learning and understanding everything that I'm saying. Hopefully that's the case. What other thing can I tell you about Coursera? The last thing. This is, I think, how me, the State Department, the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs would love to support you, okay? If you're interested in doing this, talk to my friends, right? Talk to Maria Mercedes, talk to Sofia, because this is what we can do, right? I have friends like you. You guys are my new friends. These are my old friends. These are my friends in Cyprus, in the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean. Does anybody know where Cyprus is on a map? It's a very small country, very, very small. They decided that they want to learn more, right? So they reached out to me and my team, and they said, man, what can we do to develop, we call these a dashboard, right? Where everybody who's within the Cyprus MOOC Camp dashboard, you can see who's there, what courses they're taking, and who's a part of it, right? So if my friends on Facebook, you guys here want to have your own MOOC Camp Mexico City on whatever course you want, I can create a dashboard for you that's personalized, and you can say, okay, I want to do introduction to mathematics, and my friend over there is interested in history, and you're interested in science, right? We can do this for you. And the other really cool thing is we can support you, not potentially giving you money directly, but we can support the Benjamin Franklin Library, for example, through the embassy here. And when you come to the Benjamin Franklin Library, we can give you pizza and juice and things like that. That might be fun. Nobody's giving me a smiling face, but that's, I mean, you know what I mean? So like, what I'm trying to say is I believe in the power of you guys together. I believe in you as an individual, and I believe that you're a good student and that you want to learn, but together, you're a lot smarter and you can do a lot more. So I am particularly interested, my office, the State Department, we're interested in promoting this group kind of learning on an online course. So there's in-person, right, where you're talking to each other, you're discussing some of the material, but at the same time, you're a part of this dashboard, right? Pamela says, I don't want to do this right now, but Enrique says, well, Pamela, I want to do this now, so you can do it now, and Pamela can do it later, and then when you meet up at the BFL, you can help Pamela catch up. You see? It creates a dynamic of collaboration, of team building, of friendship, which I think is really cool. I loved going to school. Do you guys like school? You got friends at school, right? Learning isn't always that fun, but at least you can be with your friends and people that are the same age as you, people that are interested in some of the same subjects. And that's what I think is a really big benefit of us being able to create this dashboard on this platform. The other one I wanted to share with you, this one is a little bit different. This is called edX. It's This is my favorite headline here. Can somebody share with me what that says? For you guys on Facebook, it says free online courses. That's what everybody wants to hear. The big FREE. No money, right? It's the same concept as Coursera though. You can take the course online for free, but if you want the verified certificate of completion, you have to pay. But what is different about edX that Coursera doesn't have is Coursera, right? We saw Stanford University, we saw the University of London. I'm probably going to look this up. Stephanie likes edX. So people have different preferences, right? The good thing about edX is that many of these courses are what they call on demand. On demand. What that means is what I just explained is that all of the course material is available immediately. The other thing, and we can log on to a course. My friends on Facebook, what are you interested in learning? We said math, but I want to switch it up to a different subject. Finance, computer science. So see, here you have a list of popular subjects that you can go and browse through. There are hundreds of courses. Computer science. So, you see where this says here? Self-paced. What does that mean? Self-paced. What do you think it means? Exactly. Self-paced, to my friends on Facebook, you arrange your own timing. These are the courses that you want to look out for on Coursera and on edX. These are the ones that you can access everything. The other piece that's really, really cool about edX, and I think this is why you might like it. Who is it that on Facebook that liked it? Stephanie. Cool. Stephanie, I'm super pumped for you. That's an awesome course and very unique interest in China and Harvard. Harvard, another one, a very, very good school in the US. What I wanted to show you is, so you see again, Columbia, UT Austin, all these different universities. This is the difference. On Coursera, you only have courses from institutions, universities, school systems. On edX, you have courses from our private sector friends in Silicon Valley in California, right? Where I would make the argument, my belief, and my experience looking at the material is that these are very, very good courses, very well developed. Okay, that might be better than some of the other courses that are offered by universities. You know, they're a little bit more beginner friendly, right? Some of these courses from Harvard, from Columbia, from UT Austin, they start at a very high college level, university level, right? What grade are you in? Okay, so you're about to be freshmen college students. I'm so happy for you guys. College is awesome. These are many times graduate level courses. Do you have the capability to do it? Absolutely. I have no doubt. With your time and your motivation to do this, you can do it. What I'm saying is the difference is these Microsoft courses, and there's courses from Apple, there's courses from HP, there's courses from these big kind of tech organizations that do a lot of this focused on what my friend said on computer science, on design thinking, on web development, on website creation. They're very specialized, right? And they give you, the cool thing about Microsoft is that many times the projects, the material in the course, it gives you an output. So, for example, you can take a Microsoft course, we'll find one, on, say, developing a website, if that's what you're interested in. Where are my websites? So there we go. Developing business applications. You even have one in Spanish, Fundamentos y Herramientas. Developing business applications, developing AI vision apps, developing. That means that when you take the course, you finish the course, if you finish it, with a potentially developed app, a potentially brand new website, an understanding of artificial intelligence vision apps, if that's what you're interested in, business applications, right? So that's not just apps, but it's models, structures for you if you want to start your own business. You know, the point is there's so many different things that you could learn about, but Microsoft has those courses that you build something in the course. You know, you don't just learn. It's not theoretical, but also practical. And that's what edX brings to the table that Coursera does not. Coursera has practical elements in some of the courses, but like many courses that you take today, right, it's a lot of theoretical, homework, understanding, memorization, but not so much designing using tools. And you can do this online, and they're really, really good courses. I strongly recommend those. And I'm not a Microsoft representative, I swear. They're just good. Unfortunately, we don't have the same partnership that we do on edX than we do with Coursera, so I don't have the analytics, right? I don't have the data of students learning on this platform, but it's a good platform. So I'm happy to promote it and share it with you. It's free. You can create an account. You can log in. You can enroll. If you want to enroll in these 6 courses and you do 0, it's okay. No penalties, no credit cards, no nothing. I'm serious. This is it's cool. The last part, right, of this demonstration, and this is where we find the balance, right, of Coursera, of edX, of traditional, of online, and of blended. There are institutions, right, leading institutions in the US that are creating their own courses that are fun, right? When I look at this, at least for me, when I see, maybe it's just me, but when I see Microsoft Exchange Server 2016, I'm like, okay, it's 2018, and that does not look like a particular course that I want to take right now in my life. It's not really that interesting, but for some people it might be. The point that I'm trying to make is there are institutions that are creating really cool courses that are affiliated on these platforms like edX, like Coursera, but are really interesting and might be out of the traditional subjects of math, science, history, whatever other subjects there are. Math, science, history? ¿Qué más? Math, science, history. Arte, physics, medicine. So we have traditional subjects. The courses are there. This is a unique part, right, where you have really amazing institutions like the Smithsonian. Is anybody familiar with the Smithsonian? My friends, familiar? What do you know about the Smithsonian? Yes, my friend here, Pamela, she said the Smithsonian is a big museum, right? It's a network of museums, right? There's many museums. There's a museum of Native Americans, there's a museum of African Americans, there's a museum of Asian Americans, museum for everything. The Smithsonian is one example of many that has developed its own courses on edX, right? So similar to Microsoft, but this is more aligned with art, history, those subjects that are, I think to me, are very interesting and relevant to the work I do at the State Department. But check out some of these courses. This one in particular, right? The rise of superheroes and their impact on pop culture. That looks like a course I want to take. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm using it as a supplement, as an extracurricular activity that's supported by our friends here at the Benjamin Franklin Library. You can come in and take the course with your friends, right? What's the cool part about this particular course is that we have a relationship with the professor. What does that mean? That it goes from being 100% online. We have a relationship with the professor, and the professor is willing to do talks, to connect virtually on Facebook Live like we are now, to add that blended component. So it's not just by yourself and your friends, but now it's you, your friends, and a really cool professor who developed some comic books on superheroes and the impact on pop culture. I guarantee you, friends on Facebook, my friends here, you guys are from Mexico, yes? Who is a superhero in Mexican history? Can you think of one? I can think of one. El Chapulín Colorado. You know, that's a good superhero, right? Can you think in one line? So I asked Facebook friends, I asked, what's a Mexican superhero? We got El Chapulín. I love it. It's great. What has El Chapulin's impact on pop culture been? Well, how has he changed people's lives? He made people laugh, right? Did your mom watch El Chapulín? Maybe your grandma even, you know? So it's something that people know about, right? And this particular course, we have students, and this is not a pitch for this particular course, but this is just a possibility, right? I had a group of students working with our embassy in Manila, in the Philippines, that are interested in superheroes. They had their own superhero, and are interested in history and culture. And they said, wow, this course looks really cool. I'm going to take it. They got a group in Manila to take it individually, and then they got together at the Benjamin Franklin Library, Manila style, and got together and took the course. Of all things, right, the rise of superheroes and their impact on pop culture or not, forget that course, any course, right? I am happy. I would be excited. If you're interested and you express interest to our friends here, I would be excited to figure out a course that you're interested in, get a group together here in Mexico, and connect you to people in Manila, in the Philippines, and you take the course together. Do you think that would be cool? To like connect with people like we are now, right, that are from the Philippines. Imagine what their superhero is like, or what their culture is like, what their history is, right? I think that those are some possibilities that might be interesting to you as a student that you can do here. And, you know, like I mentioned, I would be really excited and happy to support you guys and make that connection. This is just one particular course, right, where we know the teacher at the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is in Washington, D.C., where I live, thankfully, so I can go knock on their door and be like, hey, connect with the students. Another course, for example, this one is on entrepreneurship. So I understand, you know, that these are kind of very specific examples, but we can make this happen with almost any courses. This is just my friends, like you are, in other countries and other communities, even in the United States as well, that have said, hey, Sofia, Maria Mercedes, I'm really interested in this course, and I would love to be able to take it with my friends and connect with other people in other countries, right? So this one particularly, Beyond Silicon Valley. Who knows where Silicon Valley is? Facebook friends? Silicon Valley. Palo Alto. Who's from Palo Alto? Huh? Yeah, who do you know that's from Palo Alto? Or who do you know is famously from Palo Alto? Google's one, yep. Facebook, another one. Who else? Steve Jobs, right? Apple. Definitely. This course is really cool. This guy is from Cleveland, Ohio. Does anybody know where that is? Kind of? Where is it? Cleveland, Ohio is like, I don't even know how to explain it, but pretty much it's not Orlando, it's not New York, it's not Philadelphia, it's not Chicago, it's not Los Angeles, it's not San Diego, it's not any of these cities. Very, very small, very, very focused on mining, hard labor, no innovation, no technology, technological development, no people with millions of dollars like in Palo Alto and Silicon Valley that have a bunch of money to invest in some of these companies. This is about places that are outside of this. So this gentleman developed a course on entrepreneurship, right? On understanding how businesses are formed and businesses are run in places that don't have the same infrastructure, the same background like California, right? Which in at least the United States, there are probably 1,000 other cities that are not Palo Alto or Silicon Valley. So this course particularly was really interesting for our friends in Greece, our friends in other, who else? Greece, Cyprus didn't participate, and Armenia. So 2 very small cities, one in Greece, one in Armenia. Armenia, also a very small country, that they can relate with something like this, right? Mexico City is a big city. There's a lot of entrepreneurship happening. But it's an interesting course, and we're connected with the professor. All of the material is available online. And for these specific courses, we can provide you the certificate of completion for free. So even if you're not that excited about entrepreneurship or business or comic books and pop culture, at least for those 2 courses, I know that if you take it and you complete the course, you get the certificate for free. So if that's what you really want, more than the learning, more than the friendship building, seeing me sometimes, you can get the certificate. So I know that helps. I know it's important to me. You know, I want to be able to provide everybody a certificate, but there are some courses that have been popular around the world, like this one, like the pop culture one from the Smithsonian, that we can facilitate some of these things and get you a certificate. And that's kind of the balance. You know, these teachers are willing and able. We've talked to them, and they're excited to connect with you, and they want to learn about what's entrepreneurship like in Mexico City? What's entrepreneurship outside of DF? You know, what does it look like in Monterrey? You know, what does it look like in somewhere else, in Tijuana? You know, this might be something of interest. Tell your friends if you're not interested. And, you know, I would be happy to promote this course. Cleveland, Ohio, people, my Facebook friends. If you know where Cleveland, Ohio is, I'm giving you a big virtual high five. Because from Puebla? Oh, hi friends from Puebla. I think Puebla is probably 5 times bigger than Cleveland, Ohio. Just to give you an example. And yeah, Monterrey 10 times bigger. Mexico City, 100 times bigger. So that's a little bit about some of the platforms. These platforms, Coursera, edX, the Smithsonian, one place, right? Many different institutions, many different universities coming together and providing courses for free, where sometimes we can get the certificate of completion, sometimes we can't, but at the end you can learn, and you can learn for free. So if you can take that home with you and know that you can sign up for everything, my job is complete. But I will tell you to do this. And this is something that you have to do on your own time. I can share with you some resources of institutions that are doing this, but it all depends on your interests. You know, it's kind of a very unique, they're unique subject areas. Who's heard of MIT? 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 Massachusetts Institute of Technology? MIT and other universities, big name universities in the United States, have developed their own Coursera, but under MIT. So what can we go? Engineering, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Electrical engineering. That sounds hard. Digital system, robotics. Which one should I click? Robotics. Friends on Facebook, can you see this? Yes. Thumbs up. Hit an okay on the message chat? Not yet, but eventually. From Guerrero. Awesome. So based on these specialties that you've selected, these are the courses that they have available, right? What's the difference between this and Coursera or edX? This is directly from the university, right? It's not on the platform. It's directly in the university. It's not user-friendly. There's no module, week 1, week 2, week 3. This is ad hoc, completely up to you. But it's cool because it doesn't necessarily have to be a course. You can go, okay, design, introduction to robotics. You can go ahead, you can view the course, you don't even need to sign up. And here, this is, I think, the beginnings of online learning where universities were trying to figure out how they were going to promote this a little bit better. So what they did was they created these websites that have the resources there, but they're not on Coursera or edX. But as you can see right here, you can get the lecture notes, you can get assignments, exams, projects, more assignments. There's never enough assignments. And this material, right, on these platforms, and I recommend you to look up open courseware. I can send you a resource list after this. I'll get your emails and information. I can send you this in instructions. But these open courseware providers, right, the reason why they do this on their own is because Coursera has a copyright license, right? The school has a copyright license on the material, okay? On these platforms, directly from the university, you can go and take the lecture notes and give it to your teacher. You can take the exam and copy it, paste it, give it to your friend, give it to another institution. It doesn't matter. These are open courseware. This is open and free. So there's a difference. Free is free. Open is open. Free and open is different. You see what I mean? There are very few that are free and open. This is one of them. And there are other institutions that if you look up open courseware, like I just did, you'll see MIT, you'll see the University of California, Berkeley, you'll see Georgia Tech. There's a lot. And the reason why they do this is because they know that people want to access the material not just for their own learning and personal, professional development, but they want to be able to redistribute the material to as many people as possible. So maybe this isn't an interest for you right now of why you would take this and print it and give it to your teacher, but maybe one day you'll be a teacher and you'll be looking for materials, you'll be looking for resources to develop your lesson plans. So instead of giving your teacher, like we say in the United States, instead of putting the big red apple on your teacher's desk so you know that you're a good student, tell your teacher about this, right? Make sure your teacher knows that there are resources out there that she can use and print and learn and download and translate to Spanish and to Portuguese to Polish. It doesn't matter. These are openly accessible and you can do whatever you want with them. I guarantee you if you have a science teacher at your new university or freshman, right? Go to the graduate teacher of your university that teaches engineering and say, Profe, are you familiar with this? Have you heard of MIT OpenCourseWare? Because there are a ton of resources here that might be relevant to the courses that you're teaching at UNAM. You know? And they might give you 2 thumbs up. Hey, thanks. I'll see you later. You know what I mean? Who knows? But it's a good way, I think it's good for you as students to know that if you want to use it for your own personal learning, it's great. It's not like Coursera where it's week by week. You kind of have to do it on your own. But the resources that you can share with your peers, that you can print, you can go on this OpenCourseWare, right? This is an introduction to robotics course, right? Very specific, robóticas. You can go on University of California, Berkeley's OpenCourseWare. They probably have some kind of engineering or robotics course available, and you can go and print the material, right? And combine it. Say, okay, I like this about these notes, the summary of the material. I like this one better than University of California, Berkeley, but the University of California, Berkeley has this activity on robotics that I really, really like. You can combine them both and do whatever you want with them. So that's cool. These are resources, information, right? Think about sometimes, and this is what I tell, people, we're very, very lucky, okay? We can sit here in a classroom, have this conversation. We have this massive projector, this beautiful camera. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people out there that do not have this opportunity, right? So the more together as a community, as people, we're able to share information, share resources, share access to education, right? The world is globalizing. You know that, right? The world is globalizing. In 20 years, who knows where you'll be? You might be in Japan, you might be in Indonesia, you might be in the middle of Africa, working on a project, on a development initiative, helping people. And you might remember this and say, hey, maybe they just at that point got computers and they're really excited. They just got internet. They have no idea what's going on. And you can go and present them an opportunity and say, check out these engineering courses, these lectures and materials and notes and textbooks. Here you go. You can give it to them. And what does that do? That promotes you as an individual, but it puts your community, right? People will say, man, you know, those Mexicans that came on this trip, or, you know, Enrique who came and Pamela, you know, who came, they really helped me out and they changed my life. I can't tell you, it sounds de otro mundo, of another world, Facebook friends, but believe me when I tell you, it's not. You know, there are people out there that are very close to where you live that would be very excited about this. And if you can be that person to teach them, you're a hero, right? You're el nuevo chapulín. You know, so that's a little bit about online learning, blended learning. I feel like a broken disc. I repeat again, I'm going to share some resources with you. If you're interested, please share your email with me. I can send you all of the different universities that offer this type of material. Even if you don't use it, you have access, and it's in your, you can share it, you can do whatever you want with it. But this is growing, right? Our kids, this is probably the future, or something even more crazy than this, right? So I think together we have to be able to understand how to use this and figure out ways to share it with each other. It's so important, and I know that our governments, right, Mexican, United States, Uruguayan, Jamaican, Polish, Ukrainian, they're thinking about these things, right? And they're developing people, right, expertise, training, where this is super important, right? This is the new world. This is where jobs will be created, and you know, todo lo teórico. But this is a great resource, I promise you. It's hard to start, right? The first step is very difficult, but once you get going, you don't have to complete courses. I don't complete anything. But I look, I read, I learn, I know a little bit about robotica, I know a little bit about engineering. You know, I graduated in international relations. What does that have to do with engineering? Nothing. But it's interesting, it's something I don't know about. I like learning. I can have a conversation with my best friend who's an engineering student, right? And I can relate, we can talk about computer science or computers or software development and things like that, because I just so happened to pop on this thing. I read like 3 pages and I learned. And now I can have a conversation with my best friend who is studying completely different things, right? You guys are in a place as university freshmen where maybe right now you think that you like science or math, but it might be that you end up junior year, right, in 2 years, you end up in a completely different place because you realize what your interests are, you know? So I feel like I'm my own parent talking to myself. I don't want you to take it that way, right? I want you to take it as a person. Look, I'm not that much older than you. How old are you guys? 19? You know, I'm 23. So, you know, this took me a little bit to learn, and I wish when I was 19, 18 years old, I wish I knew about this. You know, I've recently come and discovered this, and luckily I work on it, so it makes it a little bit relevant for me. But, you know, this is something that people our age are looking at. So the more we look at it, the more we can share with each other, I think the better. So that's a little bit of it. I don't want to overwhelm you too much and show you a bunch of stuff. But like I said, if you want to share your email with me, I'm happy to send you a 1-pager of a lot of links. But that's really it. I didn't have anything too formal, just kind of a discussion, sharing some of these resources, trying to demo a little bit. Facebook friends, I hope that you were able to join. I don't know why I keep looking over there. But I hope that you at least learned a little bit and can see the URLs. Like I said, if you can share your email with us, I'd be happy to send you a 1-pager where all of these live, so you don't have to search on Google, but you can just click the link and start learning. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for participating. They told me that there was nobody going to be here. I was like, you know what? I bet that somebody will show up. So I'm happy that you guys did. It's been a pleasure learning about you guys, and I hope that this helps, really. Am I done? Facebook? Bye, guys. Oh, wait. Did you close it? Okay, good. Questions? I'm so sorry. Any questions? Please. On anything. Not just this, Coursera, but like in general. You got questions? Okay. Sí, definitivamente. Esta te respondo en español. Para mí, como representante del Departamento del Estado con estas iniciativas que te vengo hablando para venir acá al BFL y participar juntos. Generalmente solo promocionamos o bueno, recomendamos que tomen cursos de universidades estadounidenses o instituciones estadounidenses. Pero en tu propio tiempo, con tus amigos, en tu grupo social, si quieren agarrar y tomar un curso que esté en español, hay mucho. También estoy casi seguro que hay algunas universidades, no todas, las tendrías que buscar, pero que hay universidades que tienen para traducir, ¿me entendés? Es una universidad americana, pero tiene una traducción en español, portugués, y sé que Coursera como plataforma está trabajando para incluir traducciones en lo que están haciendo, porque obvio, para ellos, como una compañía, como un negocio, sube los estudiantes que están enrolando en los cursos. Para ellos ese es el objetivo para Coursera. Para las universidades es el mismo objetivo que el mío, que la gente vaya y aprenda de los recursos que ofrecen y los diferentes cursos. ¿Otra pregunta?
Sí, que si esto le podría ayudar en encontrar un mejor trabajo. Si toman cursos en línea, si les pueden ayudar a encontrar un mejor trabajo.
Muy buena pregunta. Claro. Bueno, la de antes, ¿cuál era la pregunta de antes? Era si hay cursos en español. Corta historia, para hacerte el cuento corto, sí, están especializando en las traducciones y todo eso. La segunda pregunta, si la cambio un poco. Si han habido instancias que una persona tome un curso en una de estas plataformas y haya conseguido un trabajo. Sí. Te digo honestamente, no es común, pero en estas comunidades, estas sociedades que están abajo de están enfrentadas con mucho conflicto, no hay educación, no hay oportunidad de trabajo, no hay ni oportunidades de educación, en estas comunidades de refugios, que esto se utiliza mucho. Nuestro primer MOOC camp, que decimos un MOOC camp, eso es lo que te estaba hablando, de que ustedes vengan y hagan el curso acá en el BFL. El primer MOOC camp que hicimos fue en Lebanon, en una comunidad de refugios. Y justo lo que pasaba era que la comunidad de refugios en Lebanon no eran lebanés. Entonces era un programa no solo para el desarrollo, el aprendizaje y el acceso a educación, pero era un programa para integrar los lebaneses con los refugios que vienen de todo el Medio Oriente. Y eso funcionó, que los refugios, que bueno, Lebanón y su política del Estado estaba iniciando tratar de integrar a estos refugios en sus comunidades, resultó que en unos trabajos administrativos así normales se consiguieron. Pero definitivamente, honestamente, yo creo que los certificados ayudan. Obvio, todo certificado te va a ayudar, no te va a impactar de una manera negativa, solo te puede ayudar, solo es positivo. Si en verdad este certificado va a ser la diferencia que consigas tu trabajo soñado, no te sé decir por mi experiencia personal, y las analíticas que tenemos no nos habla de eso. Eso no es una parte que estamos evaluando. Para nosotros es acceso a educación y acceso a aprendizaje. Pero hemos recibido instancias, obvio, de que sí. Y lo que te puedo decir también, me imagino que mientras esto, se va adoptando un poco más, la otra cosa que hablando de esta pregunta, es que una cosa nueva que se está incorporando en estas plataformas es que no solo podés hacer un curso, pero podés hacer una especialización, que si lo pagas, te da en vez de un certificado verificado, como dicen acá, es ponele un bachillerato certificado. Cuando haces la especialización de ponerle que sean 4 cursos en emprendimiento, ponele, o en administración de empresas. Haces los 7 cursos y te dan el certificado de especialización, es más o menos el equivalente de un bachelor. Esos son caros, no salen 500 pesos, pero, ¿me entendés? Para mí, esas especializaciones igual, si ustedes quieren hacerlo para aprender y, ¿me entendés? Para, no sé, si están interesados en ese subject, Pero para mí la razón por qué lo hicieron así es porque querían, viste, dar oportunidades para los que no tienen posibilidad de estudiar en una universidad y que terminaron la escuela particular y están como un intermedio que ¿qué hago? No tengo trabajo, no puedo entrar a la universidad. ¿En dónde quedo? ¿Me entendés? Entonces con estas especializaciones, es una oportunidad bajo costo, no tenés que aplicar, no tenés que escribir un escrito o cartas de recomendación y viste todo el proceso ese que saben ustedes cómo es para entrar a la universidad. Y bueno, lo otro también que está muy bueno de las especializaciones es que puede ser una universidad súper reconocida como es Stanford o Harvard o la Universidad de California. Entonces, viste, como todo, tiene su balance y lo que se está haciendo ahora estamos como un medio raro que la gente está experimentando y están viendo en dónde se está usando. Y bueno, una larga respuesta a la pregunta, perdoná. An open MOOC group with people interested in China. This is the problem with that. Is it possible? Absolutely. I think that there has to be the difficulty with doing this matchmaking, right? With pretend, as an example, you guys here in Mexico and somebody in China, is that they have to also be interested in the same subjects that you are, right? It's not like here in Mexico they take a course on engineering and then in China they're taking a course on art history. You know, like it's hard, you know, so we've gotten lucky with some of these courses like the Superhéroes, the one on entrepreneurship, where it just so happened to be that the students in the Philippines and the students in the US were interested in the same course and they did it together. Pero si es posible, claro que sí. Si conoces un grupo de estudiantes en China que quieren hacer este tipo de curso contigo, por favor, comunícate con nosotros, te establecemos un dashboard y podés empezar a enrolarte los cursos. Ok, bueno, muchas gracias. 2 o 3 preguntas por ahí, si ustedes tienen alguna pregunta última. El Facebook cortó. Ah, bueno, ok, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, espero que hayan aprendido un poco. Si quieren comunicarse ahí, manden su correo electrónico y les puedo mandar una página con recursos y los links y todo eso. Muchas gracias, nos vemos pronto. Chao.